We're live here at the Glass Academy where Matt has some hot glass going into this crazy handmade mold. Whoa!
Whoa! No
and it
way.
Blew out the bottom. That's what we're testing, ladies and gentlemen. We're testing the molds to show you how unique our studio is. These are all molds that you can buy. Every glass blower can use these. But these two molds, handmade here at the Glass Academy, one of a kind, unique, just like this guy blowing the glass. Woo! One of a kind, unique, unicorn. Welcome to the gathering point. We got Jake with the hot glass in his hand. Got Matt right behind him in the dark hair. Oliver's coming up the rear at the furnace.
Howdy, everybody.
Bess will be your MC for the night. Sarah answers your shopping questions. She'll be modeling the jewelry we have tonight. But back to the hot glass, looking very serious.
I'm going into mold number 2.
So, handmade mold. These are square stock put on a metal plate. And now Jake's going to decide what he's going to make. These are welded. I can't touch it because it's nice and hot, but you can see the square stock. This one is round stock. Unlike wood stock, which is in New York. Bump.
Nice one.
Just seeing if you're all listening.
Low light. Good. Nice kick.
Over there.
So we're going to start off the show here. This is going to be a pretty ridiculous artistic impression / AI show.
What?
And we got some crazy things to show off and things to kind of test out and experiment with tonight on the show. But we're starting off with a simple flower vase. And this is a design I think Chris did on the show a little bit ago. And we're going to give it another shot. If you're new to the show,
welcome. We call the show The Gathering Point. Happens every Tuesday night, 6 p.m. Eastern Time.
Dad, if you're watching, I like this idea.
It looks like a fountain, like the glass that you get fountains in, fountain drinks. What am I looking for? Like a sundae?
Spit it out.
And it's like the whipped cream. Super cool.
The classic, like, 80s diner shake
yes,
is what you're thinking
you.
of?
That's what I'm thinking
yeah.
of. Do you see it? All right, so Jake and I were in Vegas last week. Here's me. You'll meet me later. They can't see who I am. It's the voice behind the camera. So we were in Vegas last week for a conference. It was all tech, no craft. And boy, we're itching to get back into it.
A lot of tech people.
Sitting for 12 hours at a desk in a chair was tough.
So, we got a loose plan for the show tonight, and we're going to be a little bit more experimental with it here. It's not the experimental show, which is the last of the month, if I remember correctly. What day is it?
Today, it's
18th?
February, dude. Listen, we know the month. That's all we need to know.
So it's the 18th. Thank you, Bess.
It's not the end of the month.
We are going to show you guys how to design on the fly and work with some AI-produced images.
Would you say we're getting weird with it today?
I think that's pretty much exactly what's going to go down.
It's not experimental. We're just getting weird.
Yeah. Thanks, Oliver.
I got your back.
Thanks, Matt. Really? What were they saying? To sculpt the working.
Pam says, is this Matt's second week in a row out of the basement?
Yeah.
For a while, I guess.
He's on parole for good behavior.
Got some fresh air.
He doesn't have a mic yet, so you guys can't really hear him. I know he's a soft speaker anyway.
I'll try and relay anything that's of utmost importance. But he does have, and we've got a beautiful, beautiful virtual gallery here tonight with products specifically from Matt and Oliver's side hustle in the glass world. And so we're going to go over that a little bit later as well and highlight those guys. But for now,
Jake's concentrating on his next steps.
that's right. I did it.
What happened?
I just got it warm.
You just got it warm. This is a true warmer-upper piece, everybody. You know, sometimes we might blow a little bit of glass before the live show. We might make a couple pieces. But this one here is your first time blowing glass since you've been back from Vegas.
Yeah, and I gotta say that I haven't always had the itch to be blowing glass all the time. You know, I do love and have a passion in glass blowing, but when we're blowing glass almost every day out of the week, sometimes I am kind of like, you know,
A break in routine's important.
not completely infatuated with the process, but in having the brain worked so heavily on this trip and thinking so much about business and computers and how to best get our information in front of you guys, I was fiending to get back in the shop.
You were there for like 4 hours, and you were like, "Man, I just need to make a pumpkin.
It was day 2.
I need to make a mug so bad."
He's like, I think I'm going to go stand in the back of the room because I can't sit any longer.
Yeah, it was hardcore.
I know.
Thanks,
I was
Matt.
sending you photos of like the production days, Jake. Did that fuel like the FOMO, like the fear of missing out on?
A little bit.
You're like, man, I should have been there,
I
blowing
was like,
glass.
dang, could have been so productive. But this is kind of an in-between glass blowing experience where we're showing you guys the process and slowing it down and talking about things and explaining what's going on in our brain. And I do love this process and the performative, educational aspect of glass blowing. However, I'm excited for tomorrow, where for 8 hours straight, me, Matt, Oliver, and Tabea are all going to just take over this shop and get crazy with it. Yes, please.
So what we got going on here, everybody, with this small little vase here, is we have a white core for the body.
Right.
And then there's recycled glass over top of that.
Right.
Which is giving it, like right now, it looks like very light, steely blue. But the recycle's looking pretty nice and dark. And as this cools down, it's going to even get more dark. And it's going to have this beautiful white undertone to it with a beautiful blue.
The bottom looks like a cloud.
It does look like a cloud.
Beautiful sky situation.
Exactly. This is kind of a cloud-in-themed piece, if you will.
Very spring.
Very light and fluffy. Yes, and you could put any kind of flower in this. You could even put your change in this, but this was an idea that I think is something that we're going to kind of toy around with, and we'd love your guys' feedback. This is going to be a members-only exclusive item, but imagining these bases in different colors, maybe the size and shape of this altered a little bit. Would you put a couple flowers in there? Would you put, you know, some candy corn in there? Would you put... What would you put in there is the question.
Mm-hmm.
Not candy corn.
Me
No,
either.
not
I would
candy
never
corn.
put that in there. One banana, folks. It could be your
you.
banana holster.
Doesn't it look like it looked like a Sunday
Take one more
shop
flash.
glass?
Yeah. Could have some ice cream spilling
Yeah,
out over the
it's
top.
floating on the whipped cream cloud.
Can I give this to you guys to finish up, and I'm going to break down the plan for this show to the people?
Man, just
You're
tell
the
them what
man.
the deal is, man.
What are you going to break down?
The deal. We're going to break down the deal, folks. We have an incredible show lined up. Look at this amazing new introduction. I don't know if that was from tonight or from last week. Bess, whose idea was this?
Not mine.
Mine.
Nice idea, Mom. That's a good one. It is show number
Just to keep
306,
us,
ladies
like,
and gentlemen.
on track.
And we've got Bess. Have you been seen on the camera?
No.
Let's show the people what's up over here. We got Michelle in the house.
Right side.
We got Sarah over here, Bess, myself, Oliver, and Matt, as you see.
Look at, we're trying to like not step on each other, so look what we bought. Oh, the on-air sign. That means Bess is talking.
It worked decently well last week, except for if nobody's looking at it, then nobody knows it's on.
I know, we gotta
But
like,
it was helpful, and Oliver would say, "Oh, look, Beth has something to say."
we gotta put it maybe like on the cart, somewhere where we see it.
But then I can't reach it.
I'm going to keep an eye out for that. We have a bunch of beautiful colors put up today because this is the Artistic Inspiration Show. And we've done this before with our own drawings that have been included with the pieces. And we've done this before with other people's drawings and amazing artwork that have been included in the pieces. But Bess is going to be putting up the pictures in a second.
So stop.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to release those all one at a time. But we've AI pulled out 5 sweet designs of flowers for tonight's show. And the idea behind, which I didn't even mention to you, Matt, us doing flowers is that we're going to begin to think into Mother's Day class zone, think about potential products, but also be inspired by a little robotic action, which is pretty prevalent in today's society, and there's a lot going on. And we think it's a, yeah, grab a blowpipe.
Like how important it is to be in doing action. The first 20 minutes we've learned for YouTube.
Sweet. So what are we doing?
Blowing glass.
Awesome.
We got to get one of these ideas and photos picked
Remember
out.
when
I'll
we
just
had-
make some other random thing, and then we'll talk about the AI pictures and do one on the next one.
I'm going to read a couple comments. So it looks like John says, "Hope everyone is staying warm and dry. What's up, GA peeps? Spying the show tonight from Allen Park." Let's see here. Beth says the cloud base is incredible. Oliver's grandma says hello. Carrie says a little bit bigger, and that glass would be a great milkshake glass. Very true.
That's what it felt like.
Jody says, hi from stormy Prince Edward Island. We've basically been closed down the past 24 hours due to snow and 100 km, yeah, that's kilometers.
Winds.
Yep, I panicked. I was like, that's what that means, right? Winds causing whiteout snowdrifts taller than most cars and impassable roads. Jody, stay safe out there.
Plus that wind makes the wind chill like even colder.
Yep. Loretta says, hi, how was your Valentine's Day date, Jake? Getting called out on that one for 2 weeks ago. I like it. Robin is making homemade tomato soup. Very nice.
That's like a perfect day to have it.
Over on the YT side, Amy says, hello, beautiful friends. So good to see Jake and Michelle back. Oliver, I love my new pendant I got last time I was in. I got one of your metallic florals.
Oh, wow. I didn't even know that, Amy. Listen, like, we're friends. You snuck out without telling me?
You bring me a gather like that big.
But that's super kind of you. Thank you. Those metallic ones are a little bit more rare for me to be making. They're a little more challenging, hard to get my hands on those materials. So that's definitely a one of a kind.
Looks like we've got a lot of people already hopping on. Oliver, one more I wanted to read to you. Mary on YT checked in from Hudsonville, and she said, I already pressed the like button.
Mary, there we go. That's how we do things around here, being on the ball. I'm going to, listen, that's a good call. I'm going to real quick refresh the YouTube stream over here. I'm just gonna check in on you YouTube watchers. 37 watching.
4 likes.
5 likes now, because I just hit the
right.
like button. So, YouTube, giving you a 10-minute warning before I get after you.
Hey, Oliver,
Mary,
that
you're a
was
champion.
so fun to watch last week. You said that, and then all these like thumbs up went.
Chris Nordine Studios is on.
All right.
He says hello, and then he said, Lucy and I had 80-mile-an-hour winds.
Oh my God.
80-mile-an-hour
Skiing
winds.
down a hill. I hope they were tailwinds. You'd be down the hill in like 1 minute.
So I've got our photos set up, and once we start doing our AI-inspired pieces, I'm going to have down in the bottom right corner of your screen the photo that is the inspiration for the piece the entire time the piece is being made, so that you guys can see that and reference it back to it during the piece. So heads up that will be coming, but heads up to Michelle that will be in the bottom right corner of the piece. Of
right.
the
So
screen.
don't put Jake's face in the bottom right corner.
Good
Right.
call.
Right
good
now
call.
you're good, but once we get the next piece going.
Yes.
I've also got some photos we'll show you at some point of some things Michelle shot while she was in Vegas with Jake. I've got a quick little video to show you guys from their time there as well. So we've got a lot coming. We've got a fun 2 hours ready to go. Table goes live in 14 minutes, so get ready for that.
So I will say Matt and Oliver have different perspectives of the pendants and the flowers and how they were made. So we are going to show you up close and personal. Sarah will model 1 or 2 of the pendants so you can see how they sit, because they're solid glass and hollow glass. You'll see.
Yeah, pretty cool designs, and I haven't had a chance to talk to those guys about that being some of their newer work that they've done, so I'm looking forward to hearing what their thoughts were behind it, you know, what it was like going through that process.
Before we started the live show, Matt pulled me aside and was like, hey, man, what are you going to say about your work when they show it off? And it was at that point I realized that I hadn't thought about what I was going to say about my work. So
And I have to tell you
I
guys,
have until we show off the table to think about that now.
the table's been set up for a couple days. We have a meeting at
Hello?
noon about what we're making and what colors we need. But somehow
Stop.
6 o'clock comes and we all look at each other and
Stop.
kind of wonder which way we're going sometimes. So I want to give a shout out. If you guys met us in Vegas, we had about 200 new subs come in after our trip to Vegas. If you're new to the show,
Oh, heck yeah.
throw something in the comments. I know some of the people were like, my kids will love this. If you type anything in the comments, that's why we have Bess looking out for us. This is interactive entertainment. Hi, Tabea.
What up, Tabea?
Tabea. Tabea's hit that like button.
One day Tabea will show up on the show. She's still a little
I'm
green.
looking forward to that. I think she'll have fun.
I think so too.
Carrie says,
All right.
I have been wearing Oliver's pendants every day since September. I love them.
Hey!
Who said that?
Carrie.
Carrie.
The biggest testimonial you can get is from your customers.
Sharon says, I have a beautiful pendant by Matt. He does a great job. So some great testimonials, which means you guys need to jump on that table tonight. 10 minutes.
Let's do it.
Oliver, Mary says to tell you she named her monster Oliver.
She named it Oliver.
She did.
It's an honor. I'm glad Mary's
Yeah.
enjoying that piece.
So what are we making right now?
We're making a vessel.
A vessile?
A vessile of some sort that's going to hold some kind of something. That first piece, I didn't have a chance to put down a price or get that up on the website, but that is a members exclusive piece. Thanks, Matt. So that one's going to be going out to our members, our subscribed members that support the show. This piece is going to be available on the website live tonight once it's done, and you can do anything that you want with this piece.
Put a flower in it.
Throw it across the room.
Put candy corn in it. Please don't throw it across the room.
I don't
You
know why
could.
it felt that way.
Donate it to the Rage Room. Y'all ever do a Rage Room before?
No, but I've heard
I would
about them. Have
love
you?
to.
I've done one, yeah.
What if we do a staff meeting?
Right.
Cherish it.
You could, yeah, totally.
A handmade super item, you know, hey. But we're going to see what it turns into right now.
It could be a flower vase, like you make the top of it fold out like a flower. like a jester hat.
Mm-hmm.
And like they were puddles and they folded back on the body.
That white under the purple looks so nice, though. I love that.
This is
Color
the
pack.
quick como, ladies and gentlemen.
It is the quick como.
This is a technique straight out of the Glass Academy 2024. And there's our little vase,
Look at that
ladies
little
and
guy.
gentlemen.
You gonna put the stamp right in there?
Right on the perps.
No way.
Yep.
So this is a little bronze stamp that has the GA on it.
That's how you know it's made by us. And not those
Perfect.
other people.
This is the AI show. AI might take over, but not here at the Glass Academy, where artistic impression lives strong. All right, this piece will go into the annealing oven where it will cool off slowly overnight.
I think it's
And then
kind
we're
of cute.
gonna skip
like
over to the table.
Really cool line of color on there. A separation where the purple kind of blends into the white at a thinner level, and then it gets thicker and actually is that extra layer of glass. It like bleeds into the other color.
You get a good ombre effect, right? That's the word for that?
Yeah.
I think so. I think that's what they call that.
I don't know.
It is now if it's not.
Yeah, it is now. This one's going to be the old balancer.
Yeah. I think we might co-op this one.
Look before the table goes live.
I don't, because I got nothing to say about those guys' work just yet. I want to hear what they have to say.
So it looks like one of those individual wine crafts too. So Oliver takes it with the hot tongs, walks over to the annealing oven where it will go away for the evening
Man, thank you.
to be cooled down tomorrow.
Good job, buddy. All right.
All right. Oliver
You
and
wanna take it
Matt,
to the
will
table for a little bit?
Yeah, let's do that because
You
the
want-
table's going to go live in a few minutes.
You want one of us or both of us?
Oh, I don't care.
What's up?
We gotta share a mic, Matt. You gotta talk loud.
I'll talk real loud.
All right. You hop on the other side.
Yeah, but Matt, grab one of yours down so we can show them how the hole is different.
Let's do this sparkly crushed opal.
Hold up, man. Everybody,
Oh.
hold tight for 1 second while I give Matt a microphone. I just gotta
Here.
Yeah,
just speak into that like it's a microphone.
like it's a microphone. All right, so right here we have some beautiful yellow crushed opal glass. These are all hollow. I like to call these portal pendants. But you got a nice marble inside of a little hollow half circle with a little point at the bottom. Some beautiful purple and silver creek streaks inside of there. But if you can tell, all of that sparkly stuff in there is crushed opals. Kind of catches the light a little bit different.
Mention that even though it's bigger, it's lightweight.
Even though it's bigger, it's a little bit lightweight. We got these holes up here. This is how you attach them. So your bail holes are inside of the pendant itself rather than an attachment.
I'm loving them, Matt. They look super cool. Very unique.
Well, thanks, Oliver. Yours are looking
All right.
amazing as well.
Yeah. I will show off. I'm going to grab this one up here, I believe, and show this one off a little bit. Because this is one that I'm particularly very proud of here. So my pendants here today, they're all solid. If you've been following my work, this is an idea that I've been toying around with for probably the last year and some change now, maybe a year and a half even. And these are flower pendants, and these are just very, I don't know if the word's cathartic or like meditative or what, but I will start making these, and then it'll be the end of the day. And I'll have made a selection. I love thinking about color patterns. This is all like used. They're all made using the same ideas. Have you seen us pull cane on the show or anything like that? It's all that, but on a smaller scale. And you get all into color blending. This flower in particular has yellow, orange, and then a very, very dark blue, which is why it has that rim to it, which I really, really love as an accent color. This is a design that I've been absolutely loving on the bright blue background. I've just been trying to, like, I don't know, indulge my perfectionist side in these a lot, and I feel like I'm getting close, but I still, you know, perfectionist. I just want to make 1,000 more. Always, always, always want to be making these. And each of these have, like, different techniques and styles that go into making them. These ones here are all very much about color blending. These ones here are all very much about laying down lines in a very particular way so they come out striped, and it's a whole different way I make them. And then these ones here are super experimental colors that I haven't played around with too much. This is a beautiful blue, and it's a little bit more subtle, but this actually has like what I would consider a aventurine rim on the edge of the flowers here. That's can be seen really nice from the side. I'm going to real quick figure out how to get this back on the hook in the proper way that Sarah did such a good job on.
We love it.
I think that's about right. Are you ready, Jake? Let's do it.
Yeah, I'm ready. This is, I'm going to start it up, and then I'll let you guys reference the photos that Bess is going to put up. But this is a pretty deep cut, super, you know, about to get one of a kind. You guys have probably never seen something like this experience. So I'm going to start off just dunking into the clear tank here. And we're going to start smaller rather than bigger. You said you got the photo up? Sure, yeah, go for it.
So this one is first over the whole screen, and this is to show you guys real quick here, as full screen as I can make it. The piece is inspired by this AI-generated flower. I'm calling this one the feather flower. You guys can see that.
Enchanted forest feather flowers.
What did you type in to get that? Is that what you said?
I typed in something about like enchantment and like, you know, one of a kind and super crazy bright colors, never been seen before.
Well, this has definitely never been seen before.
It's a little, I mean, Enchanted Forest and Cosmic have a lot of crossover.
So I'm going to put that in the bottom right corner now.
Beautiful.
And you're back on screen.
Amazing. So we're going to kind of just be inspired by this a little bit. You know, it's kind of, I think, an interesting conversation that everything that the AI produces, I'm going into some transparent brown just so you all know, is completely inspired by the human brain. You know, that is what the AI is the collective mind of human beings. So we've inspired it to be able to, I'm not sure inspired would be the right word.
Direct.
We've directed it to take our artistic inspiration and of nature and of what is in the world and recreate something that's a mash of all of those different things, those inputs. And so now here we are. What we do every day is create artwork from our brains and put out one-of-a-kind pieces. So we're going to flip the script today and be inspired by the collective human mind.
It's kind of like Google Translate, going from English to Spanish and then back to English. We're taking it from the human arts to the robot arts, and now we're bringing it back to the human arts.
And it's an interesting, I mean, I just actually lost my train of thought because I had like 4 different things I wanted to say at once. So basically, roll with the punches, folks, and let's see what happens. But if you've ever used AI before, let us know in the chat what you used it for and what happened. Did you have something to say, Bess?
I did, and then I didn't want to interrupt your train of thought again.
So did you turn on the on-air sign?
I did.
Let's go.
A couple of things. One, the table is now live at 6:30, so you guys can hop on those beautiful pennants by Oliver and Matt. Next thing is that the Loyalty League piece is now available through that link for our Loyalty League members. The ombre purple vase is now available on the website, and I'll get all of those links except for the Loyalty League piece, but I'll get the other 2 links in the chat for you just in a second. Chris also has a question for Oliver and Matt. He says, nice looking glass pendants, are these made on a blowpipe?
No, they're not. They are made on a benchtop torch. They're made out of borosilicate glass. It is, I would liken it between like the difference between football and rugby is a difference in glass blowing that Matt and I do between here and then our personal work. It looks very similar. It can make some similar things, but it's a very different style of glass blowing, and there's a lot of nuance in those differences.
Super, super different. But I love it.
Thank you for the very brief description, Matt.
Exactly, we love that.
So what I'm going to attempt to do here, and I put as much power and thought as I possibly could into the way to do this, and I don't have a perfect answer that I feel like is going to be successful on the first try. So we're just going to kind of roll with the punches, but I really like, if you guys, I'm not sure how big on the screen that guy is down in the corner, big enough that you can see those roots.
They can see it all.
And those tendrils. And I'd really like to, I was kind of thinking about the taffy move of like taking something and folding it and pulling it and stretching it so that it just gets thinner and thinner. And I'm trying to think about a way to be able to fold these roots and get that really rooty texture down there that's long and stringy and crazy, while also every part of this flower structure can't be too delicate that we can't ship it. And Robin, our shipping champion, is exactly that, but we don't want to be having treachery, any treachery. But this does in fact look like one of those mice with the schnoz.
One of those mice with, you talking about a mole?
That's what I mean. No, I think it comes off its nose, doesn't it? Doesn't it have the weird nose? Well, either way.
No.
I've never had a mole as a pet.
Mole, like with a V. It's the cousin of a mole. We used to get them in my backyard when I was a kid. A
no,
vole.
you're making...
No, I swear, Oliver, I'm not making it up. It's called a vole.
Yeah.
With a V.
You're being an untruther right now,
No.
Bess. On live... Okay, Sarah just Googled it.
That was
Hold
fast.
up.
Thank you.
That was... Oh, those are like kind of cute.
They are cute.
They're not cousins. Those don't
Add
look
some
similar.
bits
No
to
way.
it.
That's like
what I'm
mousy
wondering.
like. That's a rodent. You used to try and keep one in the backyard when
I'd
you had
like
Lucy as a kid?
you to work
Lucy,
this
get
with
in
the
the
torch,
comments.
and I'm going to
Talk
get in with the
about
butter
your
knife
childhood vole.
All right.
and give it a ton of texture. So Matt was just like, are we going to add some bits or what? You know, we got this sweet looking action down here, but this is all smooth. This is the stem of the flower. And the last time we did this was when we do those bubble trees, which are incredible and super fun to make, but I wasn't really satisfied. In fact, I believe it was the 300 show when we did a bonsai with the texture of the thickness.
Blown away didn't smoke it. On its way back and last smoked it.
Yeah, that's actually a
Take it
great
away,
point,
Oliver.
Michelle, is that this is a little different style for us than what we traditionally do. And this really gets away from like what Matt, Jake, and I do during any given production day. Is this like intense glass sculpting where we're not blowing into the pipe anymore. We're grabbing whatever tool fits the job, and we're using that to carve into the glass.
Gnarl it up.
And because it's all, we're gnarlifying it, yeah. And because it's so hot, we're just like pushing material away, putting in these indents.
I have a comment to read from Lucy.
Is it about the vole?
Yeah, it is about a vole.
Okay, let's hear it.
Lucy says, my childhood vole was a fighter. He ate through every box I put him in, and then he died.
That had a great beginning, middle, and end. That had a great beginning, middle, and end, Lucy. Thank you.
Is that devitrification?
Let's take a look. I'll show you guys up close what's going on here and what the situation does seem to be.
Get that thing.
Just look at it.
It's gnarlified.
I wonder if heat the bottom a little bit more and cut into it just a little bit deeper, so when we flip it around, almost like a pluck and trim, stretching that out will make it look not so hand-done, but a little more elongated. And after, pretty much, I'll sit down, and you could bring over a hot, clear bit, Maurice, for the bottom. We'll do it over the top.
I do
That's
it every
Matt's
day.
special move. He just said I do it every day.
My thighs are bruised.
I just checked in on the chat, and I'm seeing Dave Worth asking technical glass questions to be immediately answered by Chris Nordine in the chat.
Yeah, that's just been kind of doing its thing.
So this is going to be, again, like the bubble tree concept where we're making the base, and this is the tendrils of the flower. This is a solo growing flower. Could almost be said it's a flower tree, perhaps, of some sort. We'll have to decide when it's finished what exactly this flower produces.
So, in terms of this AI image, what about it are you liking? Like, do we like the color palette it chose? Do we like the varying like textures that it has, like going from flower to these like leaf, or not leaf, feather wheat-like aspects? Like, it's got like a little weeping willow energy to it.
I think the texture is one of the coolest things, the detail in the texture. It's got those long root tendrils going on, which
We got
upon
going
trying
on here.
3 or 4 more times, I think we could get even more defined. But we're going to get pretty crazy on the flower on top, too, and
Yeah.
do the leaf crimps, give it kind of a leafed look to it. Thanks.
Yeah. Bess,
am I
you want to
doing?
talk about tonight's question?
Sure, absolutely. So tonight's giveaway question. First of all, shout out to Sarah. Did you draw the sign? Yes, Sarah, fantastic job. Very cute. So this is based off of, obviously, Jake and Michelle's recent trip to their conference. They were in Vegas. And so it says, Las Vegas is all about showmanship. Have you ever been? If you have, what's the most impressive performance you've ever seen there? If you have not been there, tell us about another place that had impressive shows or acts or performances. For example, Cedar Point or Disney. But you're going to send your answer to enews@glassacademy.com with your name and your answer in the body of the email. Then you will get entered to win whatever we decide to give away tonight. I also, while I'm on the topic of shout-outs, because I just gave one to Sarah, I also want to give one to Miranda. She's pretty new here. She's been doing a fantastic job getting stuff together for the Michigan room, but I also wanted to give her a shout-out for the photos tonight for the table. You guys can have amazing photos to look at of those pennants. They're not the easiest thing to photo. I've done it before. So shout out to Miranda for doing a fantastic job for getting those set up for you guys.
Miranda did a wonderful, wonderful job.
There's a lot of time and effort that goes into putting together a show, and it's pretty amazing. We go out of town for a week to learn how to better serve you guys, and we come back and the show's perfectly set up. These guys made some amazing work. The shop was perfectly clean. Everything was in order here, and it was a really beautiful, beautiful experience. It's, what does it mean? As much as we love vacation, we do love being here. It's a beautiful thing to be able to love what you do. And I think we got something special going on here. So I'm not going to stretch this too far. Leave it kind of thicker. Maybe this flower is going to be bending one way or the other, kind of like that. So there's our platform for the flower. Now I think it might become a 2-bit, you know, super train situation in a second. Everybody doesn't know what that means?
I know what it means. It means I'll bring a bit, and then Oliver will bring a bit, and then I'll bring a bit, and Oliver will bring a bit until we finish.
You guys didn't know that?
Sometimes Jake just likes watching Matt and I run.
Matt, Wendy would like an update from last week. Did you ever find the outdoor cat, and did you bring it home?
No, unfortunately, I didn't find that cat, but I wish I did.
It's never too late.
It's never too late. We may find that cat again.
All right, so we need some sort of white, 1 coat of white, 1 coat of magenta. About the size of like a walnut with its casing.
A walnut with its casing.
I'll show you that right now.
All right, time to find my competitive side. Oh, that's way too big, dude. That's like
This is a
18
walnut.
walnuts.
This is one walnut.
I mean,
Matt, you've never ate a walnut.
that might be a big nut.
Let me show you what a walnut
I've
looks
had
like.
walnuts before.
Don't forget any color on the tip now.
Chris is calling you
I
guys the
don't-
Bit Boys in the
I
chat.
guess maybe I did
What is
a
it?
little.
Chris is calling them the Bit Boys in the chat.
The Bit Boys. We've got
Oh,
a really
Bit Boys.
cool thing going on the base of this. It might not be legible in the camera. You already got magenta on there or no?
Nope.
Okay. I don't know if it was from the wooden paddle being touched down there or if this is just the effects of the amber, but there's certain spots that are kind of going away now. I think I got to take another heat. Where I'm seeing purple and blue, almost like an iridescent, metallic, slimy finish to it.
The triple pipe situation.
Everybody loves good slime.
One coat white, one coat magenta.
And remember, folks,
did
everything
two
we make
white,
on the
one
show is completely
purple.
one of a kind. It's going to be for sale tonight. And we may never make something like this again.
Or we might make a bunch.
Yeah.
I mean, the big tree, what is it, the Bubble Tree 2.0, is that what we're calling it, came out of an artistic inspiration show, so you never know.
This is true. This is absolutely true.
I'm really proud of myself because when I saw that you were doing this one, this is what I imagined you doing for the outside edges, and it was exactly the same, so...
I guess that's what happens when you watch like 200 shows or something.
Yeah. Chris says the center of that AI flower looks like a water lotus.
I should be cutting it probably differently, but what are you gonna do? Oliver, I might have you pause and let's go for a moil wrap on this next one.
Moil wrap?
Yeah.
You got it. You want it right now or after you get this flower from Matt?
Maybe after this flower.
All right, I'll be in a holding pattern.
It's getting big already.
I'll read a comment to you guys from YouTube. Alex says, hey guys, well it says, the username says Alex, but the comment says Mikey. Sorry, that was confusing. Says, hey guys, Mikey from Texas here. Love the show. You guys are educational, creative, charismatic, and a lot of fun to watch.
Best, you're like 3 feet out of the earring zone over here.
Yeah.
Shouts out to the Texans.
You got enough on here, you think?
Yeah.
So let me know when you're coming out. I'll drop her down.
Coming out. All right, Oliver. Round that out a hair more, Matt, as we get this situated. Yep. This, you can pull that away. Thank you. Is bonus heat for the glass that will crack and fall right off of the pipe. This is the lifeline piece right here, the punty. And I could tell it was getting cold, and I also knew we had quite a bit more work to do on this, you know, fantasy crazy flower that I did say was going to be small, and all of a sudden these walnuts went in steroids. What?
You channeled your inner Chris.
Yeah, I guess. You got to do it when he's out of town. I think we could just do 5 on here. Is probably going to do the trick. Oliver, you'll be the last one of these. See the timing of the way I'm flipping the pipe up and down, or the glass up and down. Really important, that timing, just to have the way the glass is moving.
Feel like you're
with
warmed
gravity.
up?
No, I kind of feel like I haven't blown glass in a long time. It feels really awkward. I'm even feeling awkward talking. It's kind of not coming out as smooth as it normally does.
You'll get right back in the saddle. Just you wait.
Yeah. All right.
The post-vacation haze.
Yeah,
I
that's
feel
what's
that.
going on.
Did you, when you came back from vacation, did you guys give yourself like a recovery day at home, or did you just get right back into work mode?
That's kind of a mix of the two, honestly.
Yeah, I needed groceries. Computer work, so it was nice not being here.
Little work from home day.
Yeah.
I feel that.
Yeah.
I always like to give myself like one day at home
It's looking good.
after a vacation before I go back to work, so I can like get reacquainted with my routine. Yeah.
Nap. Always need a good nap.
Yeah, listen, a little vacation at home after your vacation is important.
Staycation.
This is reminding me of what was like the season 1 monster from Stranger Things.
It's totally Stranger
Yeah.
Things.
What I'm gonna think of the name here, like at midnight.
I know what you're talking about. While you're thinking of that, Mary has a question.
Yep.
Mary says, can you add glass to a piece that has already been through the annealer?
You can. It's a very time-consuming process, though. So, with soft glass here that we use, you would have to really, really slowly bring it up to temperature, get it up to 1,000 degrees, and then from there slowly get it up to the 2,100. And Mary, you've seen us do work like that before with any cane work that we do. Anything that has candy cane on it was pulled, cooled down, and then it was reheated and used as an additional part of glass. So yeah, you can. With cane, it's a little bit easier to do because it's just a more familiar process. But with other pieces of glass, depending on the size and shape of them, like if we were to reheat this piece here, that would be a big conversation between us and Chris and Michelle on how long we need to take heating it up, how slow we should go. Jake and I have tried heating up pieces like that before, and we've heated up like too much, and they've slumped before we're ready to pick them up.
So I'm thinking and looking at the picture, and you guys can look at it as well, obviously being on the screen. And what I really like about this, especially since I get to see it from the front with Matt holding it, is the opening on the inside. is pretty darn asking for something to be coming out of there. And it might be a different flower, and it's an idea to think about. But for this next one, Matt had the idea of dropping a bubble onto the top of it and having that be an opening that would hold something. And I think that might be better served on one of the next flowers that we do with maybe those little crystals in there. This one, we're going to drop a patty of the next color, which I think might be just magenta perhaps, or something like that, magenta and gold. And then I'm going to force down into the middle to push it into the stem, and then use the thickness, a ring of thickness, to snip and cut the first layer of petals. Then we might try it, depending on how that turns out, in a smaller scale, and do a second layer of individual petals. And then we can drop one little ball and put some frit texture on there for the final pupil zone.
Nice.
I was
big,
more gonna
round.
go with something like the ram jammer. The ram jammer copper looper bender twirler.
I really like that you guys know what he's talking about when he says things like that.
It's part of the on-job training is that you have to learn to decode Jake.
There's a lot of code around here.
You have
Also,
to figure it right
Oliver,
out.
Demigorgon.
Pardon?
The Demigorgon.
The Demigorgon, that's what it reminds me of.
Straight
So-
magenta patty.
Michelle is showing on the screen right now one of Matt's pendants. She's very nicely modeling that for us. So you guys can kind of see what that looks like on.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a natural fit.
I do want to point out, and I didn't get to actually hear, I was thinking too hard to hear what they were talking about with their pendants over there, but a pendant doesn't necessarily mean that you need to be wearing it, and it is a really cool expression and a really cool way of support to the local art community, and shows people that that's what you're about, and it's your right color, and you know who made it, and all that goodness. But you could hang it from your rearview mirror, or you could hang it in your window, or you could just lay it next to your bed so you wake up in the morning and you know, grab it, and it just gives you a bunch of good morning mojo. I'm not sure, but those are my thoughts.
Oh, I got you, Michelle.
I'll probably use 2/3 of that. So if you guys are new to the show, let us know what's up, where you're watching from, and what the deal is. Maybe throw a couple size 2 ruby spots on top, like a 50% coat. Yeah, that gold ruby right there. Just for a little bit of extra action. But let us know where you're watching from. Let us know how you heard about us. If there's anyone from the conference that we were just at in Vegas, let us know what's up. We got a lot of amazing new things that we want to talk about and implement into the show. And
Even if you weren't specifically at this Vegas conference with Jake and Michelle, have you been to a conference before, and what was it for?
that's a great question.
I've been to a couple conferences in my time.
Really?
I've been to metallurgical conferences and like casting foundry
Did
stuff.
you say
I've been to
metallurgical?
metallurgical, it's the study of metals.
Metallurgy.
I'm going to need one more quick flash, man. I'm sorry.
You don't apologize to me.
I just really apologize. I'm going to have you come out when I come out, please.
So I have been
Yep.
to just local conferences.
drop it.
It's been a while ago. I've been to some marketing conferences back at my other job. I have not yet been to Vegas. However, there is a big crypto conference that's out in Vegas every year that my friends go to every year. In the past 2 years, I have always had something else on the same weekend that it is. So I'm hopefully maybe getting out there this year. We'll see. It's always kind of a last minute decision.
Or torch it.
The chat is very quiet, which usually means that we are very intensely watching.
Oh, you know what I'm forgetting about?
What's that, Oliver?
That Comic-Con counts as a conference.
It does.
I've been to a lot of those.
It has con in the name of it.
It does have con in the name of it. Comic-Con counts. The gas conference was last year?
Yep.
That's
No,
right. the
2 years
gas
ago now.
conference.
Oh, that's hard. That's crazy to think.
Yeah, you're right.
That was in Detroit 2 years ago, and that was super awesome.
Pam in the comments says, when I was working in clinical IT, I presented twice at the yearly software convention. They have conventions for everything.
To present at a conference is a whole different
Very intense
game. That's big time.
Would you give this one more flash after this, Matt?
You got it.
Nanette says, do glass pieces ever separate when they're cold?
That's a good question.
They can, but they have to be like different types
Take a
of
flash and then
glass.
push the
It comes
bottom
down
leaves up a little
to,
bit. Yeah.
we call it the COE, but it's the coefficient of expansion. And if you think of it like you put ice cubes in a freezer and how the ice cubes like get bigger, they grow. Glass does the exact same thing, although it shrinks as it gets colder. And different chemistries of glass expand and contract at different rates. So if you have like glass from 30 years ago and you throw it in your mix that you've been using today, you found like an old bag in the back of your garage, it might have a different COE and it might separate from itself as it cools down.
Interesting.
That's something that we've had to be mindful of, is that we've had some recycled glass that is a different COE than what we use nowadays. So we've had to be careful with like,
What you're
if we
dumping.
use that, we have to use a whole entire tank of it and use it exclusively and then burn through it.
Very good question.
Honey torch.
Carol says, Jake, that is spectacular. I love it.
Carol's liking it, Jake.
Let's go, Carol.
I see your brain working.
Yeah. This is out of my realm of knowledge, which is the point.
This is blown away training.
Yeah. This is something different, and we're doing it. We're figuring it out, and it's a good time.
I could tell Jake's brain was really going because when he stepped away to read the comments real quick,
1 sec.
you could see when he was reading, like his eyebrows just kept moving differently because his brain was just working so hard. Who are you talking about? You.
Saying I got furrowed eyebrows?
You did when you were reading the comments. Tabea
got
said she's been to Vegas, but not for a conference. She's been to other conferences. She also helps run several conferences. Interesting, Tabea.
I don't think I have it in me to ever run a conference.
That's not in my wheelhouse.
I don't think I got
One more
that
bit
desire
smaller.
in me. I could present at one, I think, but I don't know
Same color.
if I could ever run one. So just like 13 more layers of pedals is what you're thinking, Jake?
Yeah,
just
just-
really
12 or 13.
somewhere in there?
12 or 13. We'll do 1 coat of white, 1 coat of amber.
Yeah. You want more than this?
No, that's perfect.
P word.
It's true. It was said.
Sharon says this is going to be so awesome.
The
It's
A word?
nice. It's nice seeing you like working like the improv sort of realm a little bit more.
Especially on his first week back to the show after being gone.
Well, listen, you can't listen. If you're watching at home and you're like, I can't believe they're treating Jake like this. Why did they make him do the improv show the day he gets back from vacation? Jake did this to himself.
He did.
He makes the
Yeah.
plans for the show. He wanted this.
I think I was trying to, I mean, you know,
You were trying to show off the creative juices.
yeah, there's a lot of creativity in the brain right now. But, I mean, the way we want to look at this show, or the way I'd like to look at it, is this is an opportunity for me to play with the glass more and not think about it in such a production mindset. When there's 4 of us on a Wednesday, we're there to handle business, and it's a beautiful thing. But hold on, focusing.
Oh, I thought you were going to go for something different on that.
Sticky. Ah.
Water dipper.
That's how you know a piece is getting intense, when the shears stick to the glass. They get so hot that the metal starts to stick. Glass won't stick to cold metal. If we had our pipe warmer and it's preheating everything we gather the glass on, and we get them to about 1,000 degrees on the end so that the glass will stick to it. But if it's just a room temperature, it'll just flip-flop and slide right off.
Mary says, I can imagine this piece with a clear, flat plate on top of it to use as a cake stand.
The Beauty and the Beast container.
Oh, yeah, look at that. That would be cool. Linda in the comments says, looking forward to receiving 2 of Matt's lovely creations, the multicolored one in light blue, and also this flower is amazing, Jake.
Yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Take a deep
No
breath.
pressure. Everyone's just watching. We have 1,000 people watching right now.
Why don't you give them a gander on that?
Yeah, well, let me just touch it one more time, and I'll give you guys the up close. Something really cool just happened, and that's usually what happens is you just see something incredible come out of, what you didn't plan on doing. But it's that we're seeing the inside out of this color pattern right now because we curled it over. So you're seeing it magnified as if you were to encase the glass, do a color pattern, and then layer it up with clear. It was kind of a cool little flip around, and it kind of looks like some sort of explosion of AI flower juice.
Uno mas?
AI flower juice. I hate that.
You could use some pistols in there.
I know. I was kind of thinking it could be with the stringers, perhaps. Tuck them in there.
You could do
white?
one big one where you just take a little bit, thumb-sized bit, drop it in there, pull it out with the tweezers and cut it off with the diamond shears.
The eyeball of the flower.
Just I don't know, it just seems so fantasy, so sci-fi to me that instead of doing the traditional flower pistils or stamens, whatever they're called, just one little Hershey kiss on there would look nice.
I do agree. I think we could try these.
Go for it.
White,
and we could bend them each way and have a bunch of them kind of like Avatar stringers, when Avatar people connect themselves to each other.
The tendrils. That's crazy.
James Cameron Avatar, not Avatar The Last Airbender.
You want to just get the tip hot, tuck it all the way in there, and then blast it off, and I'll bend it. I'll take a heat on and bend each one.
You've been mentioning Avatar
Have
more
I?
frequently in the last 2 months. Did you give that a rewatch recently? It been in the brain?
Did I mention it before?
Customer avatar.
Yeah, customer avatar could be.
I feel like he's brought it up a couple times.
He has.
Okay.
I have?
Did you watch both of them? There's a first
Avatar,
one and a
The
second
Last
one.
Airbender.
Or
I watched
that.
them both.
Listen, if you haven't seen
It's
Avatar
good.
The Last Airbender, you need to reconnect with your childhood.
So Matt's going to have the difficult finesse job of getting right in there with the hot tip of this and not touching the sides. We're going to probably want to have 26 or 27 of these strands coming out of here. So steady hand Matt's going to tuck it in there, maybe right up here, because we'll probably heat up a little bit and let it fall back on itself.
Mary said this looks like a flower from Mars.
Yes, it does. Will you blast that tip a little more so it balls up?
Are you going to keep it from falling over?
I'm going to give it a little bit of a bend.
Mary following up with "This is getting serious." We're always serious.
That's right.
Every Tuesday we get the most serious for this show.
Push
We
it
do.
back down in there a little.
We've got an amazing
Just
giveaway
ball
for
up
later
a little more on
today.
the tip of that one and just, double
Yeah.
get them in there. Here he goes.
He's doing it.
It's happening.
Mr. Finesser.
I feel like every time you rotate that, Jake, Matt's brain is just doing the GPS recalculating.
Yeah. In real time.
We're going to do it.
Do it up.
We're going to do it right.
Need to build up a little more heat down here. We've been spending time, but seconds and those little white strands are going to start to melt, move into each other.
How's your punny doing? You need a little more heat on that?
I think I still got the right amount of heat.
Carrie says this is an over-the-top Chris Nordine special.
It's looking pretty like your funny.
Michelle's saying,
I'm gonna go right underneath, or right
that?
on top. Yep.
It's like surgery right now.
It's like that game where you got the
Operation, yeah.
Now, if you zoom out real quick, Michelle, and show Matt's posture in this, he's doing something here that's like really important that I want to comment on here.
we do practice this move.
Do you see how he's got his elbow and like forearm planted on the bench? That's given him a lot more stability in the arm that's laying down these stamen, and that's something that like, if you just tried the freehand that without having your arm like landed on something, you would have the coffee shake so bad.
No, I think I'm doing okay. I think these three are actually perfect, Matt.
All
I
right.
like that they're different heights, too.
Did you say something about
Shipping? Yeah, that was the next thing I was about to bring up.
Robin was getting ready to kill you.
So my options are we can bend them over and kind of make them a little shorter. All right.
I think it needs to be a little bit lengthy. You know, it looks beautiful.
You know, look at that. It almost feels like, and I love it, that's encased in clear, too. It's like, kind of reminds you of slug eyes, and if you were to touch that with your finger, those would shrink right down. And they
There you
come
go.
back out. Yeah, they make that noise.
Like a turtle head.
Like a turtle head.
You ever
Speaking of
touched a turtle's
turtles.
head?
What is that eel that does that in the ocean too? That like hides in a hole and
Like a sea cucumber?
Or are you
Not
talking
as-
about the thing from Finding Nemo with the little bulb? Or am I
Not the thing
completely
with-
off?
No, not one of those. It's like it's a fish. I believe it's an eel,
Stamper.
and it like lives in like coral reef rocky things, and it like burrows holes, and it like hides, and it pops out, and if it sees something, it'll hide back in its burrow. And there was a like group of them or a school of them at a zoo, and when COVID happened, they got lonely, they missed the people, so they had to bring like computers and FaceTime the eel so that they like didn't get lonely. This is a real thing. It's a
I
real thing.
can't
I'm not
even-
It
going
sounds like a
crazy.
What
children's
is he
book,
talking
Oliver.
about?
Eels. No, it's
There was also fish that got really sad and depressed at this other aquarium, and they like brought out cardboard cutouts for the fish of like people, and then they got better. Yeah, it's a thing.
That's crazy.
Fish need like when they're in tanks like that, they need the interaction. Yeah. Or else
Probably the same reason that cats sleep with humans, you know?
Mm-hmm.
We just love cuddling.
they need that love.
There's the stamp, folks. This is a one-of-a-kind piece. AI-inspired, human-created. And we're going to get it off of the pipe, probably right into the claw,
right into the claw.
for then some tortage. And just to lay it down on its side, I think will be fine in there, as long as it's not top-heavy. There's no reduction in here. We've got pinks, ambers, a little bit of ruby. Oh, yeah.
And then some of the cactuses.
Oh, yeah.
Hannah says, nice work, Matt. Wow, Jake. Mary says, wow. Robin says, Jake, shipping nightmare. Actually, she said, oh, Jake.
Sorry, Robin.
And then Wendy says, Robin, you'll do your magic.
All right.
I think that's going to be a stand. You said right side?
Yeah.
Right
Oliver?
side.
Stand it upright. Yep. Oh, yeah.
Definitely. Good catch, Oliver.
That's kind of cool.
Kinda.
That was kind of cool. It
I
ended
don't
up
know,
cool.
man. I thought that piece was lame.
It's a lame horse.
I think it was pretty interesting, and I think those little stamens on top completed the piece. For me, at least, I'm really into, like, you guys have seen the basket weave technique and really fine details and repetitive patterns. And for me, up until that point, all those leaves were a little thick and a little chunky, but then having the contrast of those long stems, I think tied it all together. So well placed and a really interesting design. So while Beth shows off, I believe, what Michelle was talking about, some videos and some recap of our conference, we're going to powwow and talk about the next piece and take it away, housekeeping.
Absolutely. Matt, would you hate giving Michelle your mic temporarily just so she can talk about what I'm going to show on this video? It's really hard to hear her when she doesn't have one. Sorry. I didn't realize it was down your shirt. I'm sorry. So I've got a couple things to show from Jake and Michelle's trip here. You want me to show the video or the photos
Do
first?
the video first,
Okay.
because the reality is, I'll look at some glass while you're getting it ready. The reality is, Jake and I walked into this conference and it was just crazy. And as soon as I see it on the TV, I'll describe it. So we went to this conference, there were 5,000 people there, and what happened was we walked into this auditorium and they let us in first because we were VIP. And then, waiting for the video to come on so I can show. Oh, maybe, is the video showing?
Video's playing right now.
Okay, I just don't see it because it's delayed. So 5,000 people are running in the room and they're screaming and there's loud music. And then for the next 10 to 12 hours, we sat down and listened to lectures and speaker after speaker come on stage. It was super intense. And then we got to go eat lunch. They would let us out for lunch. And we had an hour and a half maybe to go eat lunch. And so I was freaking out because there was no greenage. Now this is Texas, not Texas, Arizona, and we live in Michigan. So there was no greenage and we were like, what is going on? So I think Bess will show the cactuses next.
Yes, I can do the cactuses next.
Yeah, so we did see some greenage. There were cactuses that we saw, and those were pretty cool. And they're very different than any plant that grows in Michigan. So if we do the AI, we might do a cactus. We might do an AI. I am not sure what we're going to do.
That would be cool to do an AI on these cactus photos because, like, the one I have on the screen right now is super interesting.
Yeah, like the points, like you could do them in the mold and do the points. Nothing like throwing Jake. That's a cool cactus. I mean, the colors are really interesting to dial in on. And if you're new to the show, you can subscribe to the channel. We got the bell here.
Oh, we got a new string on the bell. That's good. Our
The
string went,
restrung bell.
Yeah, our string went missing.
So what we do during the shows is we do kind of plan out what we're going to make, but the reality is as we're working on life, different things come into play. Jake has no clue what he's doing.
Nope. So we're going to figure it out right now.
Okay, you want to film and I'll blow?
Yeah, you want to make one?
Uh-huh.
All right.
All right.
All right, that flower that was just finished is live on the website. Is there an inspiration piece for this next one that I should know about?
I'm really not sure. Don't know what's happening. Ah, cactus theme. All right.
So I am going to go into green. I actually do a base coat, then into
You guys can't really hear it. Michelle's
You
kind of
got it.
talking all over through
probably
her
a couple
plan.
layers.
So the cactus technique that we do around here is a really incredible dot pattern that comes from really truly understanding the glass material and understanding the way that it's manipulated in the heat. So the timing of these guys working together and the way they're planning this out is super important. Michelle's going to bring over her piece. She's going to use the mold we started off the show with, have it on the rollers here, and then Oliver is going to lay on a super thin stringer of molten color.
And the AI flower is sold.
All right, there it
Go
goes.
ahead. You start your bit first.
AI flower to a new home, one of a kind, super experimental.
I just heard the whole plan.
I sure hope so. Depends, could have been local pickup.
There is nothing local about it.
So Michelle's got some molten crystal clear. Now she's going for a nice layer of a really bright, vibrant,
On your
opaque
left.
green.
That's the cactus you showed as the one that I will base the time.
Like 4 cactuses, so which one? The witch?
Yucca one?
Okay.
We've got Matt
Got it.
and Oliver going in the magenta.
Got it. I can tell you that one.
Did you call it a yucca cactus? Okay.
You see the way these guys are working around the hole, in between the color and back to the hole together. It's a pretty important, the dance of glass blowing. And Michelle's not a part of the hot shop on a regular basis at all. So Oliver's kind of following her lead and seeing the way she's going and kind of working with her without communicating verbally.
Okay. I mean, there's just something about being a dance partner.
It is a dance partner.
That's what I tell everyone when like they come and take a class. Is like right before I bring the glass to them, I'm like, hey, we're dance partners now. Have a little ebb and flow and be cool to take lead or be led. All right, so I've got a white core on this, and then I coated it a bunch of times in the magenta. And the reason why I coated a bunch of times in the magenta is so that as it's pulled out real thin, it retains some of that magenta-ness. It doesn't thin out into light pink, or if you go super thin, clear. And I'm hoping that this white core is going to make a nice backdrop and help this pink stand out to the green color that Michelle has, and not have that pink turn out like look brown as you're looking through like the green through the pink.
Are you going into the mold, Mom? Okay.
I am. That's next step.
So the timing's super important, like Oliver was just saying. He's got just the very front end heating up. Michelle's got a round bubble. She's coming over here, dropping it into the optic mold. A little bit of expansion. She's blowing into the pipe right now. This is a handmade mold. This is not a mold that's
I'm ready if you are.
like the molds we typically use. Michelle said, didn't grab it quite right. What she means by that is both the tool, but also, depending on the way you put this bit on, sometimes if you grab too close to the pipe that Oliver brings over, your hand will just sizzle up and burn because
That's
you're
your
too
favorite.
close to the glass.
That's your favorite part, Jake.
Yeah, it's really a nice wake-up call. After lunch and a nice big meal,
You're a little tired.
just got to get burnt,
Sizzle your hand.
sizzle it.
I got a sizzler the other day.
So I was trying to get the dots, but it's not working. You want to explain why?
Yeah, Michelle's saying she didn't quite get the dots out of there. She's asking me to explain why, which my opinion on this, you guys will see once it cools down, you'll see the color pattern a little bit more, is that this particular mold doesn't have quite as much room for rib expansion in comparison to our typical 12-pointer right here. And
now, how could that be? Because that one is just open to the air versus the other one. Like, that one has infinite rib expansion. You just blow it out, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger versus the other 12-point.
This
it's
is
enclosed.
true. I would think that it because it's not as sharp of a point on those tips, there's more connection of the trail to the actual glass that Michelle had.
The ribs are a little more rounded.
The ribs are more rounded for
Okay.
sure. The other thing about this mold, she's got it shaped up really nice actually for that little bit of non-planned action. The other thing about this mold is that it's got a serious taper to it. In comparison to this guy, I'll grab him and show you guys them side by side. You can see the taperage of the one on the left is much wider at the top. So if you're trying to blow into that mold really hard and expand it really powerfully into the ribs, it's not going to, I mean, it'll blow out near the pipe, the end of the pipe more. So you get a really hollow, really thin neck region. And that's what she's got going on here. And it makes it really hard to control when she's blowing into it. It's just expanding over on this side right here.
What's like the use case for using a mold like that and then blowing the glass by the neck super thin? Because typically we would just elongate the piece and create the neckline further off the pipe to get like the thinness that we desire for like a piece of drinkware.
Yeah, I think there's, it depends on the piece, I guess, what the use case is. For that size of piece, the amount of glass you can fit in there, you're usually using a smaller pipe and you don't have that much glass. So there's not really enough glass to fill up that neck area and have it be the right thickness that you want. If we're doing something like our giant pumpkins and we've got a mold that's this tall, you can get a lot more glass in there and leave it a lot thicker and utilize that a little bit more. Yep.
Chris says, I love when Michelle blows glass. She is so good. She said, aw.
Put it in the
Oh, no way.
We're going to see.
We can't hear her at all. I don't know what you want to do about that. Do you want mine for her? Because it's easier. I don't have mine in my shirt.
No way. You can start to see some of that green color coming out in the tip of the piece. That's an interesting shaping technique.
Hey, Matt, remember that the picture is down in the bottom right corner, so I can't see that what she's doing right now. There you go.
Yeah, so a Mikeless Michelle is asking me to explain the idea of making 18 or 20 or 25 of these particular shape and designs, which look super cool, and being able to put them together. Could be for a chandelier, could be for a cactus, but there's a really cool act of repetition in a design like this.
You're neglecting the part where Michelle volunteered to make all 18 of them.
That's right.
But that's what it looks like. So the goal was to get the dots, right? We would have had like those dots.
Yeah,
Do you see what I'm saying?
totally.
You wanna...
She wanted to have the dots on there.
So I was saying, like, if I would have done the dots in the mold the way it wanted, it would have the illusion of going up the side, and the color pattern would be there. That's what I saw in those cactuses. Maybe we'll make more and put them together on another show.
The cold working gathering point show.
No, we'll stick them all in the garage.
Hot assemble them.
That would be cool.
I think you're missing the opportunity of watching Jake just on the grinding wheel for 3 hours and doing the extendo show.
Love that. So Michelle's taking it straight into the box, and she's going to knock it off right in there because she was talking about the way that she would or hot assemble them. Right.
Yeah. So you could put together, say, 7, 9 leaves, and then you'd have start with a hot base and then put all the leaves around so it would have that upright cactus. See what I'm saying? So all the leaves would be in a garage, you'd bring them over one by one, stick them all together, and then the piece would be finished. So not during a gathering point show when we have half an hour left.
Yeah. Pretty cool, though. It turned out pretty sweet, and that was the same concept as those lines that we were carving into the bottom of the piece that I made, and how you can put little handmade gestures on there. She had those optic lines that were kind of funky and kind of were rolled down weird on the table, but as soon as she stretched it and elongated it, they all formed together and made a beautiful, elegant, nature-like shape. So that was pretty tight. Bess, do we have any housekeeping to do before we get on to the next AI piece?
Yes. So I can do the giveaway. It is 7:30. It's
Okay.
about the time we do our giveaway piece. Can we just take a look at this beautiful red tree real quick here?
Is this the giveaway?
It is. So our giveaway question for last week was, do you believe in forest gnomes? And if you do, what would you say if you were to meet one? So a lot of people said yes, fairies too. Someone said, oh, please, we love Renaissance Fair, gnomes, fairies, tree people, and unicorns. We are of the realm. Someone said, I love the batch gallery gnomes. They bring them to life. I believe in them. Someone says, I believe in them in the decorative sense. Someone says, I believe in things you cannot see. Let's see here. Someone says, I'm not sure. That's fair. Someone said, I believe in them in my imagination. There was one I was looking for. I saw it earlier. Oh, this is my favorite one. Love the legend of the gnomes. My grandparents were Swedish and had a few gnomes and trolls around the house. Also, as a side note, they said they really wanted a Valentine's gnome, but they were working. We do have a few left in the gallery. Just wanted to throw that out there. Our winner for our tree said, I would love to meet a forest gnome. So congratulations. Matt, you gotta be over here now. Matt, you gotta be over here. So congratulations to Sheila. So Sheila, you're going to get an email about our... Sorry, I am so thrown off. Sheila, you're going to get an email. If you are local, you get to do some free pickup here. If you are not local and want this beauty shipped to you, keep an eye out on your email from Donna. She's going to get you hooked up. So congratulations. All right, go ahead and take a look at what Jake's doing.
What's going on here, Jake? You're going to put a flower in a vase?
Yep, we're going to put a flower in the vase. We're going to do something we know how to do. Nothing too experimental. We did one last week. We're going to make this the giveaway, folks, and we're going to make a vase, an evergreen flower in a glass vase, and we're going to combine it all together, and that's what's about to happen. No pictures, just what happens here. So let's do it.
There's just the here and now.
Just the here and now, and it's about to go down. Back into the furnace, folks. Michelle, when you want to take the camera back over, I will be using both these guys at 1 point.
Why not 2 points?
I don't really know how that works,
All right, that's
to be
fine.
completely honest.
Going for
So-
the white and purple.
Yep, that's exactly right. We got the white and the purple. I'm gonna blow it out into a beautiful shape. Gonna hit the pineapple mold, give it some texture, some nice, controlled, organized, planned texture.
What are you saying? I wasn't organized.
No, I'm talking to myself.
I'm getting rid of some of these tools on your bench.
Thank you, appreciate it. There's
You're
a little
done with
air
the-
bubble in there.
You're done with the leaf mashers?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Should have made the flour first, but we're gonna figure it out.
I feel like doing the flour first isn't the move, because as you take reheats, you might lose details on the flour that you're going to add.
This is true as well. You would lose less detail on the vase. That's very true. Yeah,
Yeah.
white and purple. We're going to blow out the bottom here. We're going to put a Rosetta foot on it as well. So it's going to be tall and skinny because you're never really going to need to clean it. You're not adding anything to it. And you're going to be getting it for free. So there's that. Just real light, Matt. That's good.
Did I miss the part where you said what color you wanted your Rosetta?
I think
Put
let's
in?
do it in the transparent purple.
Okay.
All right. Here we are. Gonna do the same move again. That's good.
In case you missed it, this is the giveaway piece. Our giveaway question for this week is, have you ever been to Las Vegas? If you have, what is the most impressive thing you saw while you were there? And if you haven't, what else have you seen that's impressive? Maybe a show, or, I mean, I think that conference they went to is pretty impressive. Maybe something at Cedar Point or Disney or maybe Ren Fair, whatever it is. You are going to send your answer to enews@glassacademy.com to enter the giveaway. Make sure you put your name in the body of the email so we know who you are, so I can read your name on the show next week. Hannah says, this is Jake at his best.
Who said that?
Hannah from Sweden. What did she say? This is Jake at his best.
Hannah, you're a champion. We're gonna go for the Rosetta foot here.
Robin
Really
says she likes your
pristine.
cactus idea, Michelle. Robin.
Very nice. Thanks, Matt. Jake flattening that Rosetta out. I probably said it on the show every time we do a Rosetta foot, but this is one of my favorite styles for a drop foot.
So Lucille has a question. She says, "Hi guys, what's the reason for Jake spinning it constantly?"
A great question.
Matt, take it away.
Matt doesn't have his mic on.
Matt, flip your mic on. Then say all that again.
Gravity is always affecting the glass, depending on how hot it is. So, because it's so hot, Jake always keeps the glass rotating so that it stays on center.
If he didn't rotate it, it would literally fall to the ground. Especially when it's like fresh out of the furnace hot. At this temperature, it's moving a little bit slower, but it's still moving. And it would slump in one direction and turn it to some sort of... Oh, I'm thinking of an artist. Can't think of it off the top of my head now. Never mind. It'd be like a Dr. Seuss crazy thing, not...
Dr. Seuss crazy thing.
Just a pillar of goo.
Yeah, it's turned into a pillar of goo.
Matt, will you just flare that open to about the size of a quarter?
Yeah.
Oliver, would you put on another coat of this and then bring it as a trail?
Yeah. Straight,
Thanks.
or you want it flared?
Right to about the size of a quarter. I think that'll be a little bit of flare.
It's about a quarter, right? Looks quarter-ish.
Oliver, Vicky says, "Are you thinking of Dolly?"
Give me 1 second.
You're good.
Can you repeat that question, Bess?
Are you thinking of the artist
Hold on to
Dolly?
it for 1 sec.
D-A-L-I.
No, I'm thinking of... I was thinking of the dude who does the faces that's really famous, like old post-Renaissance painter.
When you're ready, Oliver. Really hot.
A lot of people do faces.
Dolly?
No, it's not. Well, it's not Dolly. Picasso. Yes, Picasso was the one I was thinking of. Thank you. I knew it was a P name, and I just couldn't come up with it.
Oh. Hannah says she loves this type of foot.
The Rosetta looks so nice. I feel like it's Rosetta, the encased, like, smooth transition into a foot, and then, like, a slim liner for me. And those are, like, my 3 favorites.
Tabea and Carrie both put Picasso in the comments, so we were going to get there.
Thank you, everybody, for helping my failing brain.
Just to remind you guys, there are still a couple great pieces left on the table. I did put the link in the comments.
But, you know, I am thinking about it. I did forget why I brought that up in the first place.
I hand that to you.
Dolly is probably the
clear
better reference, actually. With all the melting clocks and everything,
Yep.
that's how it would turn out.
So we're going to apply the 2 of these now. So not too hot, Oliver, but hot enough that the tweezers aren't going to cause any kind of issue.
I got you.
You can come knock it off right onto the bench here.
You ready for it?
Yep.
Knock it off towards him, like away from him.
The other way?
Yeah.
What you mean?
Just, yeah, I could flip it, whatever.
The stemless flower glass?
Yeah. The super floater.
That's pretty cool, though. You could still tuck a couple flowers in there on, like, the backside if you wanted.
Totally.
In between the petals.
In between the petals, you could even have like not even a flower. You could just have some green foliage coming up and around. And this
spider
like
plant?
some seagrass or something.
spider plant, seagrass combo.
I could see it. I
A
can see it.
bamboo shoot.
Hannah says, for the question, does a concert count? I think if the concert was impressive, I think it counts.
I think it
For the
counts.
giveaway question? Yeah, absolutely. A concert counts.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Little reduction on that or no?
I don't think so. It's copper ruby, right? Those
Yeah.
size 2 chunks.
I wasn't sure if you had like gold brown on there underneath it or something.
I think we're just gonna go for the stamp on it.
Let's do it.
That's gonna be a bright orange flower there. You're not seeing the true color of what's going on because the glass is still so hot. This is a really dark, beautiful ruby. You're starting to see the purple. That's the purple there, but you've got white underneath it here, and it's much thinner.
I like the pineapple mold like texture that we got on there.
The stretched
That look-
pineapple.
Yeah, I really like that a lot.
Took it to yoga class.
Linda wrote in all caps, love, 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 with a lot of exclamation marks behind it.
I've got that question for the giveaway up on the screen one more time for you guys. It says, have you ever been to Las Vegas? If you have, what's the most impressive thing you saw? If not, what's another impressive thing you've seen? Where was it at? Send your answer to enews@glassacademy.com in an email with your name, and you can win
All
this
right.
really
Knock
cute
this
vase.
one off into the grabbers again.
I
towards
think
the
knocking in the
bottom.
grabbers is a smart idea for sure.
Stephanie says that has a great beginning look for making a lighthouse.
I agree.
The lighthouse shape.
One more heat.
What?
Really trying to get that flower connection equalized so that it doesn't pop off. Beautiful break.
Torching that bottom real nice, and Matt's taking it away.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Beautiful.
Nice giveaway.
That's an amazing giveaway. We've got 15 minutes to go, so yeah, perhaps Matt and Oliver, you guys want to bust out what you were working on today?
Yeah.
No way.
Maybe a medium sizer, even a large sizer.
Definitely.
Yeah, these guys got it really figured out. We've talked about twist cups many times and what that means and the history of the twist cup, and proud to say that Matt is become maybe not a super champion yet, but he has become a champion in making twist cups here. He's doing a really amazing job, and we're going to, in that moment, in a perfect mix of him training and learning even more textures and styles of glasses, we're going to add and adjust our website offerings for recycle drinkware. We're going to have a show 2 or 3 weeks from now. I can't exactly remember. It's going to be a part of the Michigan room, drinking out of that recycled drinkware, and it's also a great testament to the talent and the skill and the history of our studio and what we're able to produce here at the Glass Academy. So happy to announce to you the introduction of Matt's Twist Cup Mojo. Watch out for that ball now.
That ball will get you.
Oh, the one-hand marver. They had called him before the Moil Maniac.
Who called him that?
I called him that.
Now he's kind of just a hoser.
The Moil Maniac, folks.
John says, is Matt a wicked twister?
You could call him that too. The Moil Maniac, super wicked twister.
I think I could get a wicked twist in here. Let's see.
Jody says, I'm loving tonight's pieces so much. You guys are amazing.
Woo!
Right.
You guys like the stream, whether you're watching on the YT or the FB. Show us some love. Spread the word, share the
Appreciate
feed,
it.
subscribe. If you guys are watching on YouTube and you haven't subscribed to our channel, that's just unheard of.
In case you're new to the show, we are a small family-owned business in Dearborn, which is right outside of Detroit, Michigan. So anything you can do on social media to help
it
support
slow,
us,
brother.
we really appreciate. Liking, subscribing, sharing our page, commenting, it all helps us out. It shows those social media platforms that you like what we have to show you, and it'll show us to more people for free. So we appreciate the support for those of you who already do it already. I know there's a lot of you out there.
A lot of hot glass content, action, and mojo.
If you don't already
think
follow
it's-
us, go ahead, Oliver.
I was just going to ask, do you think it's more hot glass or more mojo?
A little bit
Well-
of both. It's got to be both. If you don't already follow us, obviously we're here on Facebook and YouTube. We are also on Instagram, and we've also got a TikTok as well.
Stop.
If you guys had 3 words, and those of you that have been following us, this is our show 306.
Sure is.
Whether you're new or you've been watching all 300 shows, I'd be very curious to hear 3 words that you guys think would describe the show that we offer on a weekly basis.
Jody says, aren't we trying to make our comments 5 words or more?
Jody, you're a champion.
Word number 1, consistent.
That's the way to do it. We want them to hear 3 words of description sandwiched with the words, I think the show is these 3 words.
You got immediately called out.
That was fast.
That was so fast.
Paddle, Oliver.
Jody got you like I get the YouTubers.
Give me just a second here.
Matt's in the zone.
But in giving us those 3 words, I hope that you guys let us know what you enjoy about the show at the same time. That's kind of what I'm asking, because hearing those 3 words and the reason that you come to the show and what you're receiving out of the show, that helps us cater the show to what you guys want to be seeing. And it's obviously what we want to be doing. We're doing what we love, and we want to represent that every day. But what you guys find interesting is what's going to keep us making this and doing this show all the time. Of course, you could become a member and support us in that way, but just getting your information and understanding why you watch the show and what brings you back each week in 3 words with 2 bonus words would be very helpful for us to know. And I've got the 3 that I could say at the end of the show that I think is what we offer to you all. But I'd like to hear what you guys think first.
Guys, get in there, put some positive energy. Let us know what you think of the show and how you would describe it. Because Jake, every meeting, is trying to transform us into a crochet manufacturer and just have us knitting all day long. And we want to blow glass. So if you guys
say
like,
you don't want to see crocheting,
Jake really seems to think that the crochet YouTube scene's about to pop off. And I keep on telling him, Jake, we're glass blowers.
We're talking about crochet. I heard the word crochet. I'm in the process of crocheting my sister a baby blanket, so it looks more like a giant scarf right now, but we're getting there.
I'm sure she'll love it, whatever it turns out to be.
Whatever it is.
Yeah.
I've got till April, so
That's a
I've
good
got
amount of
time.
time.
Appreciate it.
So, we got a couple of our first answers. I think the show is amazing, informative, entertaining. Another one, I think the show is informative, entertaining, and inspiring. So informative and entertaining, we got a little bit of a trend here. Let's see over here.
Entertaining, educational, and relaxing.
Fun, energetic, imaginative, entertaining, artistic, creative, fun, entertaining, educational, and relaxing.
I've got one from a first-time watcher,
Who's that?
Carmela over on FB.
Carmela, yeah.
You want to read that one?
The previous flower piece was just stunning and unique. It was so whimsical. Following, but first time watching, you're excellent, informative, and entertaining. Ha ha! That's the kind of answers we like to see. From Connecticut. How'd you hear about us, Carmela? Let us know.
Pam says, after watching for over a year, I feel like I'm hanging out with friends.
That's super cool. And it's not, I mean, we don't put on any kind of show when we come on here. I mean, we know we're blowing glass. We know we're just cracking jokes and throwing tweezers.
We just throw them everywhere.
But this is truly who we are. Matt literally does throw the tweezers at least once a day in the shop.
The tweezers.
And instantly, from the tweezers hitting the floor, they got waxy. And you saw him just playing around with the glass, and it wasn't even grabbing the glass. Would you like a fresh pair?
I would. Very much so. I would
That's
appreciate
crazy
it.
how
Grab
fast
the pair
that
you're cool
happened.
being thrown on the floor.
Right.
I'll be extra careful.
Just slow it down, buddy.
It's just too heavy. It fell right out of my hands.
So I'm happy to hear that the words you guys described were the words that I was thinking of. I was thinking of education.
Education.
I was mixing it with entertainment and beauty. In making, you know, not every piece that we make is beautiful, I will say. Edutainment is the combo word.
Well, then if you
Edutainment.
combo it, then you have to come up with one more word.
I'm not comboing it.
Okay. Yeah.
It's an option to combo
shut that
it.
down.
You can accidentally combo it, but
Edutainment.
that's a triple
Slow
combo.
down there.
Education, entertainment, and beauty. I think that the glass that we make, the purpose that the glass we make serves in this world is to bring some sort of,
Battle.
you know, absolutely there's function in a piece like this, a product like this, or a flower vase or something else of the sort. But it brings beauty. It brings a non-biased, non-political, handmade, superhuman, made in the USA beauty to the world that you can just hold and enjoy. And look at the way Matt's looking at that. It's like he just fell in love with that glass. Oh, jeez.
I hear what you're saying, Jake, but just picture 2025. We could just get super confrontational.
Ready?
I'm ready, dude.
Stamp the belly button.
We're gonna tap it off and stamp the bottom.
So as Matt's knocking this off, let's take a nice deep analyzation of the piece that he just made over here. He used the straight shears on the bottom of the glass to knock it off. Got a nice punny mark there. There's no stamp on the side, so Oliver's got the torch hot because on a thin piece like this, if you overheat it and go to torch it, you'll just push a hole into the bottom. So he's blasting it really hard and fast. And he goes for the stamp. Beautiful crisp stamp on the bottom. And I'm gonna tuck it away here. But a pretty darn nice twist. You got the 45, maybe further than a 45 angle from Matt. And it's a I gotta think that's maybe like 14 ounces. 14 ounces.
Stay around.
And that's important too. And what we've been talking about with Matt is that I'll show you this mold one last time. This is our only 12-point optic mold size for making drinkware. You get any bigger and you have wider opening like we talked about earlier on the show, you have to use a bigger pipe. You're using a lot more glass and it's a much more difficult process. So in order to make our tiny tasting glasses, our 14-ounce tumblers like Matt just made, and our 16-ounce big beer pour glasses, they all have to be done out of this mold, and that's just a case of stretching the glass further and making a thinner, more delicate and well-made glass. And so Matt's pumped it up and he's making 14 ounces. He's made 16 ounces. And it's just a beautiful thing that's happening.
Yeah.
Good job, Matt.
Thank you very much.
One more
Great
comment
job
I'll
to you,
read before we
Oliver.
wrap up.
Yes.
Dave says, Tuesday nights are like hanging out with friends, creating cool stuff, and just having fun challenging yourselves. It's amazing to see the growth.
Super cool. A lot more growth to go.
That Twist Cup is available.
That Twist Cup is available online since the giveaway was already done. That one will be signed with the show number. And you've got your giveaway question there was given to you by Michelle. There's still a few pendants left. handmade by both Oliver and Matt, being represented on the gathering point. Anything else?
I have nothing. Do you?
Stay warm.
Stay warm,
Yeah,
you guys.
stay warm. It's been chilly.
We appreciate you all. If you're in a warm climate, lucky you. But subscribe to the show.
Yep.
Get after it.
Show us some love, and stay tuned for a lot more updates on our spring show and the opening of our beverage counter.
We've got a lot coming, you guys. It's going to be really exciting in 2025, so stay tuned.
2025 is a power year.
See you next Tuesday, everybody. Later.